Hello and welcome to the second episode of Interviews with Famous Makecoders. A Makecoder is someone who programs games and other things using the programming language Makecode Arcade. Last episode, I interviewed Luke, the most famous artist on the platform. It was truly inspiring to see how he became so well known and dig into how he got into art and programming. Oh, sorry, that's my secretary, Josef. Come in?
Randomizer. Someone's here to see. It's Sarge.
Mrs. President, you need to come quickly. It's Sarge, the #1 user of all time. He's here.
Sorry, that's my backup secretary, Sonic Blaston. And of course I know that. I'm aiming to usurp his throne. Aiming not to do that. He has the most likes out of anyone on the forums, at over 11,000. For reference, that's one of the developers who created Makecode Arcade, and that's the famous artist I interviewed last episode. Oh, but I really shouldn't keep him waiting. Welcome our next guest, truly the most famous user, Mr. Sarge.
Hello.
So my first question is, how did you get into Makecode?
So I got into Makecode when we were doing IT class in 5th grade, I think it was. So the funny thing is, actually, the first time I came into contact with Makecode, I shrugged it off basically, made some very simple games based on tutorials. But a whole year after that, I discovered the forums, and it was like a whole new world of projects and games, and that attracted me really much. So I created an account in 2021 for the first time, for real, and ever since then, I've been a part of the community.
Yeah, that's a really cool story. I know a lot of people got into Makecode through their classes. It's sweet that your love for Makecode really started once you joined the forums.
I didn't really know about any of that, and I had no idea back then when in 2020 I discovered some small coding website that it would become such a big part of my life.
So my second question is, most people know you for your spot on the leaderboard rather than your most popular game, Delivery Mania. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I would like to address that's not exactly true. Delivery Mania is definitely my most polished game. I have a few others. They're not as popular. I can name off the top of my head. I made a recreation of Wordle some time back. I was pretty proud of that too. Pretty simple, but I liked it. My most popular achievements are my extensions, as far as development in Makecode goes. So that's what I've probably poured the most time in. Probably the most notable ones, better settings, right? Everybody at some point was talking about better settings. It's really a simple extension, actually, when you think about it. It just adds a few data types to this basic settings namespace, and it was really simple to make. Like, it took me a few days at most, but it was such a basic feature that was not included with the default extension, and that so many people wanted for such a long time that by creating it, I gained a lot of popularity. Now for my spot on the leaderboard and like how I would like to be known, I don't mind like being known as a social user more than somebody who makes games and projects. Of course, there's a part of me that wishes I was more active in that regard. So, I made more games and that I could be looked up to as somebody like Lucas, who has games, or Luke with his amazing art, right? It feels inadequate, if I can put it that way, sometimes to just, I'm #1 in the leaderboard, but it's literally because I was just interacting with the community a lot. And that's not a bad thing, but I feel like their achievements hold more value, if you understand.
I get that. There's always that imposter syndrome, thinking that you could have done more to deserve your position. I really loved your Better Arrays extension. It'll be really useful for when I make more complex AIs.
Better Arrays, yes, I spent a good few weeks just actively working on that. And that's why I'm also more proud of it, because I actually put a lot of dedication into it. It wasn't just something that was successful, an extension that turned out well in the end, but the entire journey of making that extension really was motivating to me, because for 4 weeks, if you check my GitHub in that period, you can just see it's all green, because every single day I would sit down and I would develop the extension, like for some time. Sometimes I would spend a few hours, sometimes under an hour, but the important thing there was that I was consistent with it, which is something that I, up to that point and ever since then, actually, I haven't really done. Like a long time in the past, when I was working on some like basic projects, I was really enthusiastic about that, so I would dedicate myself to something for a longer period of time, just work on it every single day. But now working on Better Arrays and just grinding it every single day, and after those 4 weeks releasing it and just being able to appreciate it in its entirety was a really good feeling. And I really hope that one day, maybe when I solve some of my real life issues, when I do my schoolwork and all of that other stuff, that I can do that again, except maybe this time work on a game.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of Makecoders are looking for. That steady motivation and that pride in the final product, regardless of how it's received. That's awesome. For my next question, well, you already answered what your next project would be, so let's skip ahead to what do you like to do outside of Makecode?
Well, honestly, I'm not awfully interesting, like as a person. I like chatting on certain people on Discord, some of my friends. I like coding, but now that I'm so busy, I haven't really been getting up to that much because, every single day it's just work, work, work. And then when I actually, if I was to sit down and try to code something up, it would just feel like more work. So, that gets boring pretty quickly. And like, with how much I procrastinate, I really wish I was coding more. Other than that, sometimes I'll play games. Certain games I like driving simulators, I guess, racing games. Sometimes I like drawing. Recently, I've gotten somewhat back into that, even though it's not like what people would traditionally associate with like drawing and art. So I'm not drawing like humans and photorealistic things because I'm really bad at that. But I doodle sometimes. I scribble something for me personally, just for my own enjoyment, and I think that's all right.
Yeah, I get that. So I just wanted to ask if you have anything you want to promote or shout out or talk about before we leave?
Well, actually, I don't know if I want to like say anything because probably gonna come back to get me. But as for like upcoming projects, I have really wanted to work on a game for a long time, like one specific game. Again, no promises. I always have to put this disclaimer because at the end of the day, most times I unfortunately don't deliver. The thing is, if I clear up all my work and I get some like time in between, I want to work on a game, and I don't know if it's gonna be 2025, maybe it's gonna be in 5 years, but one day I'm going to finish a game and release it. Hopefully, I'm gonna be very proud of that game. It's a really big, ambitious project, but I think if I do it little by little, I can hopefully release it. So, yeah. As for promotions, check out my extensions. There's better arrays, a bunch of arrays and stuff, operations, better settings for all your saving data needs. There are some fun extensions that I did just for laughs, like the ELO extension. Some very basic ones that add things that were previously not in Makecode, or in block form, like enums. And lastly, I hope to whoever is listening to this interview that you are having a nice day, and I wish you all the best and all the luck with coding. The community is very active on the forum right now, and as I unfortunately don't have a lot of time to be as active as I was before and look into all the projects and amazing interactions on the forum as I had before, but I hope you guys keep that train going even without me, and keep making awesome stuff, keep discussing awesome things, and I'll catch you some time later, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. That was really awesome, and goodbye. Wow, that was a truly eye-opening interview. Instead of being this mythical figure of fame and power, Sarge is just a normal guy who's really great at making technical tools and inspiring the community. I think that's what we all should strive for, to enjoy the process of making things rather than focusing on the outcome or the attention. I encourage you to go check out his games like Delivery Mania and Wordle, and his extensions if you know how. I hope you join me in the next episode for another famous Makecoder. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know exactly when the next one comes out.
By Jove, it appears a desired specimen has arrived at your establishment at the expected time. Right on the dot, might I add. Quite dandy.
What the? Hey, you're not Luke. That was the last episode. How did you even get in here?